Yeah, running.
Going forward, we are going to leave our new policy thinking on tourism, where we have designated the entire country as a tourism development zone. What we are now dealing with now are the mischiefs of equity and access, and making sure that the entirety of our country has access to its amenities, its attractions, man-made and natural. And we want to make sure that the entire country as a holiday experience. The civil servants who in the past have just imagined what a holiday could be until they go into the diaspora and come back, begin to really live the holiday experience when they are here and they are afforded by the state to actually visit some of those places that they only see in their dreams. And here I refer to places like the Victoria Falls, Kariba, Eastern Highlands, and so forth. It can't continue to be the preserve of the elite who can afford. Our people should be able to visit the Victoria Falls without necessarily staying in the Elephant Hills, Stanley and Livingstone, and Victoria Falls Hotel, but still be able to visit the waterfalls itself because it's theirs. It's an endowment within the boundaries of Zimbabwe. But to the extent that we can facilitate government in leadership, the planning of infrastructure that will enable our citizenry to lock in with these kind of developments, then it means we have now entered the Solomonic age, which I correctly define now going forward as the planning of the infrastructural legacy in the country beyond the land reform program. Every farm in the past had a tourism license of one form or another. Either it was a game park, or it was a jungle mania, or it was a fishing experience, or it was a restaurant or a bar. We want, through the instrument of licensing, to empower our people. Those that have been given farms, they are automatically license holders of tourism and expand the opportunity. And in doing so, I'm sure we can then even entrap the interest of the youth dividend. Many of our people who have farms are elderly, but their children are very disconnected to the experience at the farm because we have not packaged something that can trap their interest. And we want them to run the jungle manias, we want them to run the fitness centers, the fishing expeditions, the game parks, so that there's a legacy in the past that then compels them to even develop an interest in the core activities of those farms, which is agricultural production itself. So I'm looking forward to a future where we can facilitate that entry of the youth dividend into mainstream tourism through these instruments of licensing, but more importantly, to make sure that some of the instruments that were inspired by the General Assembly, like 124 and 190, regarding duty-free importation of capital goods and motor vehicles, have an extended lifetime of about 5 years. The year of the ZANU-PF government, the lifespan of the ZANU-PF government going forward. They were there for just 1 year, but we want them now for the 5-year tenure. It's government's own capital contribution or saving to the investor, domestic and international, who wants to invest in the sector.
Yes, Mr. You have talked something about religious tourism.
Today, the world is driven by religious tourism. If you see the pilgrimages to Mecca, to Jerusalem, to St. Peter's Basilica, they actually drive the tourism industry in huge numbers. But more importantly, it is the local prophet in Africa, in the likes of, for example, the Nigerian bishop, who everybody visits, and now today he attracts people in excess of those that are visiting the Buckingham Palace itself, and I refer here to TB Joshua. We would like also to motivate our own local prophets, the Makandiwas, Hubert Angels, the apostolic churches and their various sects, to begin to be part of the mainstream economy and incentivize and motivate them to actually bring those numbers. But around them, build infrastructure that helps to attract and make people stay longer than their spiritual needs. And we are also looking at agro-tourism, Boca tobacco auction floors, for example. It is an iniquity that today it has escaped designation as a tourist facility because it moves people seasonally in hundreds and hundreds, and they conduct commercial activities out there which we have not enabled as government. And I would like to see going forward the designation of such places as tourism facilities so that we can build around them tourism infrastructure, hospitality infrastructure that makes the stay amenable while they are waiting to transact over the counter.
Thank you very much.